Hi guys, I'm finished with the Nancy Drew books, and if you saw the other video where I did a flip through of the mysterious letter, you know that now I'm going to do a flip through of the next one, the secret of the old clock. And I just wanted to show you both of them together. And you know, I really had a lot of fun making these because I gave each one of them a theme. This one was letters and postmarks and stamps. This one's clocks, of course. So anyway, just to make things easier, I'm going to refer to this book as the book, this book, that book, whatever book. Anyway, that's the book, okay? And then I used a lot of pictures and pages from this book. This is the front and back covers. And it's kind of like a history, excuse me, of Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. And it also talks about, you know, different things going on in the world at that time. So you'll see different things from that. So that's going to be the big book, okay? So I'll try to not keep having to refer to it too much. So anyway, okay, this book measures 5 inches by 7.5. It has a 2-inch fabric covered spine, 3 signatures. I put this old vintage trim around it. It's on the back too, and it goes all the way to the inside. It's kind of stained, but I did clean it. I cleaned it really well. So if you see it looks dirty, it's just stained, okay? So anyway, it's closed with a hair tie and post closure. So anyway, fun book. All right, open it up, and it has 3 signatures. Like I said, this one has 148 pages because one of the signatures had an extra page. So there's where the trim comes through to the inside, and that's the original end pages. Okay, try to stay in frame. I put this ruffle on here. It's just a gathered ruffle. I got it from Squeaky Chair, Hobby Lobby. This is a layered sticker I made for that one challenge, and it's just a sticker with stamping and collaging and some bling on it. And on this one, I did a lot of stenciling. I bought a stencil that had all these clocks on it. So since the theme was clocks, was happy to find that stencil. Now here's the original title page of the book, and it is 1959 copyright. And I made a bunch of faux stamps for the other one, so I had some left over, so I just used them in here too. So it's made out of a book page, some little collaged bits of paper, some sort of focal image, this time it's Sherlock, and then stamping of like a postal mark. And this is from the big book. It showed a lot of the covers, and it showed a lot of pictures from the books, so you'll see those, like I said, throughout here. This is like a newsprint type paper. This is from that big book, and there's the price I paid for it, $2. This is a page from that catalog. It's a reproduction of a catalog of old-timey toys. And this is yellow aging is authentic. It's just because I think the book was like the 70s or something, but it looks older because they just don't use very good paper in it. Just ages faster. This is from like a children's line tablet. I found this library pocket in my stash, so I took it off a book I bought at the library book sale, and it's got their phone number, FA63036, but I have a feeling that that's not accurate anymore. All right, journaling card made out of a picture from a sewing pattern that I thought it was, you know, Nancy Drew books were written, I don't even know, I should have looked it up in the big book, but I didn't. 50s and 60s, maybe some of the 40s, so I just thought, you know, the styles represented the times. And just some different collage work behind her, but that makes a good journaling card. It's on scrapbook paper. Here is a pocket made out of book page, and it's got like a little pocket here, and this is just a little tag, and pocket here. This is a vintage label, parcel post label, and this is from, oh boy, a digital print, Edwardian Papers. It's antique potpourri, not papery, not potpourri, papery, I think. Reason I picked it is I had printed it for, I think, the Sherlock Holmes journal. It has a clock on it, so you'll see a bigger one of that in a minute. Coffee dyed paper. This is what I call a messy journaling spot with stitching around it, and then I just have a little, I think it's old music, sheet of music there. This is from the big book, and it had a lot, you know, big pages, and showed, like I said, the either the covers of some of the books or pictures from it. So I made them the center of the signatures. So now we're looking at the back side of the signature, so it's the same papers. And on this piece of scrapbook paper, I had this little cluster of a clock, a butterfly, and a paper ruffle. And I made it a tuck for this clue card, and this clue is ballroom. So that goes there. And on this side, I have a picture from the book. No, it's actually from the big book. I can tell by, because they circled their page numbers with a little magnifying glass. I said, thank you for that. This is a tally sheet, whatever they call it, from the Clue game, where you mark off, you know, who the player, the suspect, and the room, and the weapon. So there's that tablet again. This folds out. It's actually the Hardy Boys, but oh well. Okay, pocket. It's made out of a picture from the big book, and this is a book cover from the big book, Secret of the Old Clock. Where have we heard that? And look, the picture's changed a little bit. So, and I just put a tab on it. I think, is this the first book? I think this might have been her first book. The very first one. I'm not sure. But anyway. Okay. Secret of the Old Clock. And here's more of the clock stenciling. Second signature's got the same ruffle. Stenciling. That's just from an old decorating book. Belly band's got some crime scene tape on it. Made a booklet out of a book page, one of the Nancy pages, because there's her name. Blank pages to write on, and a picture from the book. And it's got ribbon on the spine. Stenciling again. This is an envelope type thing, a flip-flop. I don't know what you call this. Anyway, I decorated with the Tim Holtz airmail stuff. It came in just a kit of ephemera. And this is actually a post-it note that sliding all over the place. It's made to look like a airmail envelope, so it folds real well. It makes a little envelope. I'm making sure I'm in frame since I'm sliding around. Where did I get this? Okay, where was it? It's right here somewhere. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm not sure where it was at. We'll figure it out. This is an old receipt, some tracing paper, blue line paper, another picture from the big book, and here's that big clock. I told you I think I had another picture of it. I'm not sure that's the same one. Anyway, still has a clock on it, so I'll put it in here with a tab. This one is a book page pocket with just a whole bunch of different things collaged on it. These are stamps. It says private and confidential, and there's a clock. And this was a picture of the Nancy Drew game, mystery game, that was in that big book. So I just backed it onto some book page and made a journaling card out of it. This folds out. This folds out. And there's Nancy in the center of the signature. This is same sort of pocket as the book page one, just made out of the ledger paper. Same sort of stamps on it. And I just took this from that big book and made a journaling card out of it. This is not stationery, shorthand book from like the 40s. And on this book, I took the spine of the book, The Secret of the Old Clock. There's where I know it's the first one. Right there it says 1. It's the first book. Anyway, I made a belly band out of it, and this is a journaling card made out of a page from The Secret of the Old Clock. Lined paper on the inside and the back, and on the front is a picture from a Reader's Digest book, but I like the style of the dress. I thought it was, you know, similar time period, so I put a little clock on there, and one of the chapter headings was Following a Clue, so I just put that on there. So lined paper, tracing paper. On this book, if you saw the other one, you know that I took the puzzle piece and I collaged on it. Well, I finally got smart and said, you know, it's much easier if you just paint it, and then you can put some little collage things on it. You don't have to trim around all these little things. So that's what I did. Plus I stamped on the back of it too. So made a little tuck out of it, because you know Nancy's solving a puzzle, right? Here is the rules for the Nancy Drew Club, which was posted in that big book. So I just made a journaling card out of it. And this is a corner tuck made out of book page, all that airmail stuff on it. And this is from the same Tim Holtz pack of ephemera. It just says watches and clocks and jewelry. So that, yep, you're going in here. This was in my stash, and I just put another picture from a Reader's Digest book on there and the word confidential and made it into a journaling card. More stenciling. Okay, third signature. We got the ruffle again, and we got another one of those stacked stickers. And we have the toy catalog, ledger paper. This is a Clue tally sheet. We've seen one of those before. This little envelope just was blue, decorated blue, so I put it in here. And inside of it is a little journaling booklet made out of a square of scrapbook paper, just folded in half, and the corner punches on it. And this is a page from the book. There's the end papers. Lined paper, and that's stationery paper. Here's a Rolodex card. It's similar to a Rolodex, except it just has one hole in the middle. And I just did a bunch of different stuff to collage on it. I showed these in another video. It's got the Curiosity stamped, and then a faux stamp with a first class mail stamp on it. So we got double stamps, whatever. Anyway, Clue card in it, and this is the kitchen. And another picture from the big book, made into a side pocket, and it just has an index card in it with a fortune cookie. It says, now is a good time to try something new. And another one of these flip out things I decorated with cameras and film. I want a Clue card, and this one is Dr. Orchid. She's the new character. Okay, this is a page from the book. My strings are a little long here. I cut those off. Okay, that's better. Page from the book, made into a little tuck with some vintage trim here. And another journaling card made from the pattern, picture of the pattern. And this time the chapter heading I put on there was a suspenseful search. Flip out. Center the signature. And another picture from the sewing pattern. And this one is following a clue again, and there's just all different stuff collaged around it, and I stitched around this one. And this guest check is decorated with some old music, the instruction sheet from this pattern, and then this picture of this lady was from a Reader's Digest book, and she was just wearing an outfit that kind of reminded me of the times, and so her hair's up. And then this is a full postage stamp with the clock on it and all the stamping on it. So journaling card and postcard that came from a kit, scrapbook kit on travel theme. Okay, this is another flip out with the blank paper and a small image from that sewing pattern, scrapbook paper and a doily and some scraps there. And this is, it's not really the title page. I don't know what you call that page when it's just the title of the book, but anyway, it's all blank. You can write on it, and it goes definitely with this book, Secret of the Old Clock. Got some stamping on the backs of these. Green paper. This is a tag-shaped pocket made out of book page, and it's stitched around, clusters on it. There's an envelope, and this is a little booklet that's made from just scraps of graph paper, and this is a circle that was in my stash, and I just folded it in half and made a topper for that tablet. Okay, messy journaling stitch, journaling spot with a stitching around it, and then a faux stamp. And this one, I'm going to show it closer. See, it's got that little gold. That is from a candy wrapper, and I just think it just gives the neatest little touch. to the collage. And we're about done. There's stenciling, 10 pages, footprints. You know, I have a stencil that's on dance steps, and I just did it so I had footprints because, you know, the detectives, you know, are always looking at footprints and stuff. This pocket is made out of a book page with a little collage on it, and it has a little letter. That was from the Tim Holtz collage packet. This is a receipt. I got it at the Dollar Tree. Oops, I don't have blank paper on the back. Okay, made it into for a journaling card, and so sorry about that. Two girls. Nancy had the two friends, Bess and George, so I figured that could be them. And I found friends of mine in one of the books, so I stuck that on there. And this is part of the tissue from the pattern, and I will put backing on it. So I'll stick that up so I can remember to do it. And graph paper, a catalog, and we're at the end of the book. And I had this index card, index divider with an N on it. I said it stood for Nancy, and I did some collage on there, just a stamp and the crime scene tape and a clock and private. And I actually had in my stash this actual library card that says Master Detective. It's about Pinkerton. So I'm just putting it in there. I didn't do a thing to it. See the way it came out. You can see it was ripped out. The slash in it means we discarded the book. And that means we just ripped it out of the card catalog a long time ago. Okay, so anyway, here's this book. It's going to be for sale in my Etsy shop, Books by Burke. I'm going to figure out where this goes in, and I'm going to put paper on the back of that. And I thank you guys for watching. Talk to y'all later. Bye.